What's up, my dudes? We're back in Boulder Co, Hamilton. It's beautiful weather today. I'm in an awesome mood. I don't know how good I'm gonna climb today. I don't care. I just want to have a great fun session. They have a new wall again, and some of the climbs there look really fun. So let's jump right into it. As usual, I'm slowly working my way up in the grades to properly warm up my full body for the climbing movements and not just warming up the muscles separately. This 3 was a lot of fun. It has this really nice press start where you need that nice foot positioning to go up, and from there it's getting around the corner without it throwing you off, but the little last bit to the volume is fairly nice to get up. That 5 seems like a good first challenge. Which was a lie because I flashed the climb. It's not as hard as it first looks like. It's just some intricate positioning at the start, some quite high right foot, and then staying close to the wall to get to the pockets, but then it's quite a nice finish as well. Worked better than expected. Now we're going back in time a little bit to the session that I didn't film, but I filmed that one just because I wanted to at least have the make of that 6 on the channel. Perfectly did the beta how I wanted to, was at the start of that session and managed to hold on to the end as well. But let's get back to the current session. Next I went for the blue 6. It's really crimpy. The starting foot is okay, I just had the wrong positioning, but it's a lot about staying close to the wall and having the proper angles to the crimp. And overall it's not too bad, but the middle section you really need to figure out where to hold on with which hand. And I kind of already did it right on my first go. I realized I couldn't match the crimp, so I went down with my right hand to get a side pull and pull myself in, to then drop off my left hand, and it kind of worked, but I then missed the right hand going up. I quite easily got back to the point I was last time as well, but this time didn't really have the right body positioning and not enough tension on the right arm to properly get over, and just slipped out. But I consistently got to that point. This time I tried matching it again, but it immediately felt wrong. So I just needed to get a proper pull on the right arm on the crimp to really get tension to get close to the wall. Because I realized on this try that matching definitely doesn't work. I also tried dropping the right foot, but I dropped it too far and couldn't really nicely get over then, and it just got me into an unstable position where I needed to do the move quickly and couldn't hold the tension. So when I got there again, I was still kind of struggling with if holding the tension with the right hand is the right go, but I realized I just need to trust it, fully pull myself in and hold on with the left hand. And when I got it, it felt so nice. I got the right hand, and from there on the holds are so much nicer. They're not even crimpy anymore, they're more little jugs, and then it's just walking up the wall. Yeah, so just the right hand tensioning and pulling into the wall, hitting the other one on the right spot. Well, holy shit, that's a lot of tension to hold. Let's go for the 7 next. This 7 is really rough. I couldn't really read the start properly at all, so I got into this really weird press position that I somehow made work, Looking back on it, I don't know how I made that work and stayed into the wall, but I got up there and I completely didn't know properly how to get up, and I thought you needed to stem into the starting hold with your foot and kind of press yourself up to get your right foot up, because there were rubber marks in the starting holes, but it's so slippery that you can get tension on the left hand, and I was still struggling with it. I got into this pull to the right and still want to go right hand, which isn't really working. As it took me a while to find my beta for the start, but getting into the right hand press and then going left hand to pinch feels so much better, and I just need to get consistent at it. But then I still tried it again the same way, and the right foot is fucking bad and the left foot as well, so as soon as you try to get really pressure on either of them, you're gonna slip off. So I had my starting beta kinda down, still struggling, but realizing that this is really the go. And then the next problem was really, where do I go from there? I didn't really know where to put my feet and how to properly continue, and it took me a bit, but I got the start down, so at least had that going for me, and needed to figure out then, okay, where do I go at the volumes? So I got under them, but then had a weird way of switching my feet where I just couldn't hold myself under the volumes and slipped out. So next time, better foot swap, but then still was in a weird position of continuing on, because a lot of my weight over my hip was so far to the right that getting my hand over was just not that nice. So I still had all these micro improvements to make. I had the foot swap down, but still was in a weird body positioning. So I need to figure, okay, do I do the foot swap first or get my hands up to the volume? There's definitely multiple different ways, but I got to the point where most of the tries, first getting my hands to the volume and then swapping my feet is the better go. But the consistent problem was going to be that last foothold, because it's just that not in cut at all, plug on the wall, that's slippery as hell, and I just couldn't find the stable position on it for the hell of it. I tried so many different ways with my hands, but that right foot is just pure hell.
I can't trust that right foot. It feels so bad. The only thing is I just need to trust that right foot. It feels like ass, but in my mind I just need to say to myself, trust that foot. I think as soon as I trust it once, it's gonna feel nice, because I know I can trust it. But right now it just feels so fucking bad.
There on the start, I had pretty much down and fairly easy. It's still a quite physical move, but not that bad. And I easily got into that middle section. I got the foot swap down, but even trying to convince me mentally to trust that foot didn't help that much. I had a few tries where I got some pressure on the right foot, but I would immediately slip off as soon as I tried to stand up.
I started trusting it. It didn't feel too bad. I just slipped off with my right hand.
And it's not like I didn't have any good tries, but even my good tries felt really bad, and I think that is the furthest I've gotten.
Okay, I get the point up, get all the lower ones down on the wall, and only the higher ones on it, on the new wall.
So after admitting defeat from the 7, I just needed some refreshers, just getting some done. So I went for the yellow 4, which is pretty chill, some nice foot positioning on the slab wall and getting your body weight in the right positions on the volumes, but nothing too bad overall. On the opposite end of that was the green 5, which had really bad feet. You needed to get a lot of pressure sideways into the wall to go up, but still a really fun boulder. Just a lot of tension and sideways pull you needed to hold, and some really intricate body positioning in the way on where you get your weight to do the moves. And after that confidence boost, I went for the Black 8. The Black 8 is really rough, but felt surprisingly in the possible realm of being done by me.
I'm absolutely surprised how close I'm getting on that 8, because off camera, the first time I tried the first move, I was like, no way. But it's actually not that bad. But the middle section, like that foothold that comes to the right, it's bad. It's half non-texture and angled away from you. That's gonna be a rough move to get.
You start in that press position and you have a tiny right foot, but it's just enough to actually get a lot of pressure on the right foot. And then you hit a really slopey hold, but the upper right part is perfectly angled that when you hit it, it feels really nice. And I just need to get consistent with the move, which I got fairly quickly, to be honest. Then you need to get to the crimp. The crimp is a problem because it's angled away and it feels more like a tiny pinch than an actual crimp. And then you get to the biggest problem, which is the tiny foothold on the bottom right. You need such a controlled movement to actually hit it, and then you realize how bad it is.
At least I'm starting to hit it controlled, but it's still, that crimp on the right hand is so bad, so tiny. That's the foothold I'm aiming for, and that's the tiniest crimp I'm holding on to. Because the wall is angled away, it just wants to kick you out so bad, and it's so hard to hold on to the crimp because you're not leaning into it. It's kind of like in front of you. Just ass.
After having the starting sequence down pretty much and quite consistently getting to the foot, it was all about just figuring out where and how to put your feet on that hold and not just hitting it.
God, even when you hit it, it doesn't feel like you can use it for anything. It's like that's turning around then. Fuck.
As hard as this move is, I would still feel how I would make these micro improvements with every try and actually getting further on the climb.
Oh! Yeah! I was so close. God, that foot feels so bad. Oh.
But not every try would end as well as the last one did. But in the end, I would get consistent with getting my foot there and getting close to the press. But that foot is just so slippery that getting the right placement consistent is still really hard. So I'm still happy with the amount of progress I've made on that day, even though it's a really hard and really scary move to do.
Don't think that's gonna happen today, but oh my god, I'm proud on that progress on that one. I didn't expect it that I'll be able to get that far. I also think that's gonna be it for today because God, my fingers are done. See you in the car. That was such a fun session today. The new wall is really nice and the 7 and 8 are both a really good challenge. The 7 kind of annoying because the last foothold just feels like ass and it's really all about that last foothold. Even though the one on the 8
is really bad as well, but it just feels more technical than just being ass. Too bad I didn't get both of them, but I still really feel the progress that I'm making. It's getting that close on the first time trying them, and especially on the 8 that I originally looked at, I was like, no way I'm gonna do that. Because at first slopey hold felt so bad, but it's way better than I expected. Yeah, I'm gonna see. I think that 8 is in the reach, but I've already asked, and it's a V7, but that would definitely be another breakthrough to work on. So let's see where it goes. I definitely felt like this was a great session today. Had a lot of fun filming it again. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope I see you in the next one. Bye bye.